Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 4th episode of the Duocast. Like always, I'm here with Dr. CeeJ.
Hey, everybody.
And we got a lot to talk about. Obviously, there's no matches going on right now, but we're preparing for the minor. We have some stuff left over from the last set of matches that we didn't get to talk about. I know we were talking about doing our predictions scoreboard. I think we did pretty good on predictions. I think you only missed the one, if I'm not mistaken.
The Cloud9 Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did guess the Game 5, though.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a tough one, though, because we didn't really know what Cloud9 would look like with the server issues fixed, so. I think you had a good guess. I just wanted to go the other way on one of them, so. So, yeah. We got that. I'm 4-0. He's 3-1. It's not bad. So, next time we do one and there's matches, we'll do that. And are we doing a score? No, I guess because we have to have a together bracket here for the minor when we do that. So
Yeah.
we'll go ahead and just do that for qualifier matches. But that being said, we can go ahead and get into our first topic of the OpTic drama / situation. Obviously, there's just been a lot of speculation and, hoops, Predo, money too, yada, yada, yada. Who cares? We're not going to really get into any of that because we don't know. We're never going to know until Pred comes back or goes wherever he goes. So I think it'd be a little more fun to talk about a potential, if OpTic go back to back and, obviously win champs, becoming the next OpTic dynasty and, a league dynasty that, I don't think a team's gone back to back. So
No.
So if that happens, would people think in their heads, like sometime in the future, as the next OpTic dynasty with Pred or with Hook? So go ahead, CeeJ. What do you think?
I think it really depends on how he performs. If he were to perform at the level that we know he could perform at, say like the 19 year, then I could see them, especially with recency, view it with Huke. But as of right now, they would definitely view it as a Pred situation.
Yeah, I kind of tend to agree. I don't know. I think the tournament, like Pred got the final kill to win the thing, kind of like that moment is forever, immortalized in that way. So, like you said, if Hook plays even, I think, fairly good, who knows, maybe Dashy or Shotzi win MVP. Like, if he's just a good piece that gets him there, I think there's a chance of that, depending on what Pred's future is in the league. Like, if Pred kind of just disappears from the league, I think it would be Hook. If Pred comes back and plays for another team, like if it's a rival of OpTic, it's obviously going to be Hook. But if there's ever like a future where Pred comes back to OpTic, I think that's definitely where it gets a little funky because, OpTic fans, like, they got crazy loyalty. So I don't see a problem with like both of them also. It just, like I said, it'd have to depend. And I think it'd be cool to see. And obviously, like, this is rampant speculation, but because we really have no way of telling at this point, Like, we haven't even seen them in a major yet. But I thought
it's just a idea.
I was gonna say, I thought it'd be a little more fun if we're gonna speculate about something. It's a little more fun to do that than somebody's personal life. So. But yeah, I on a serious note, I do wish, like, regardless of if Pred comes back to OpTic, he comes back at some point because I really think he's a good player. Obviously fun to watch and all that. So
for sure.
But yeah,
hoping for the best.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, he never did anything like on OpTic that make me be like, I don't really like that You know, it was just
Yeah.
whatever his personal stuff is. But there we go. So we're both kind of 50-50 on that.
Hmm.
I don't know if anyone has stronger views. Go ahead and comment what you think, if which one you would remember it if they go back to back. So
That'd be an interesting topic if it were to go one way or the other.
yeah, yeah, for sure. And I think the only other interesting part of it is if they crash out of Major One, do you make that
Oof.
change? Or even if they do good but not great, would you make a change to get Pred back before he goes somewhere else?
I think that's a gauging situation, especially considering how their scrims were looking up to their last win with Pred.
Yeah, I didn't think they looked particularly like OP to start the
Hmm.
year. So personally, I think they look better with Hook. Um, Obviously, we'll see if they run into Boston here in this minor bracket, which we're gonna do here in a second. So yeah, I think it's all interesting, and I'm sure we'll be talking about it as we go because we will be doing episodes here. So with that said, we can go ahead and get into our minor one predictions. It's such a weird thing to have it like jammed in the middle of qualifiers. It's like I think I'd like to see it before.
Hmm.
That way it's like you get a minor, kind of see where teams are at, and then the qualifiers hit, and then a tournament. It just seems so weird to jam it in the middle and it not count for anything but like standings.
Hmm.
But hey, you know, nobody asked me, so
Oh well.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think I'd rather see a series of minors going into a major. Does that make sense? Like a home series thing, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Because that way you're still playing the same amount of matches inevitably. I don't know. The single limb's weird for me because I hate the bracket for it. But
Hmm.
let's go ahead and get into predictions. Our first match, round one, is Vancouver Surge versus Cloud9. We don't have to give scores in this, but we're gonna just go ahead and have to agree if we can eventually agree on this. We don't have a tie-breaking vote, so
Yeah,
we'll just have to be nice to each other. All right. So who do you got this first one?
I have Surge. I just like
Hmm.
what I see from them fundamentally more than I do Cloud9. Um, and Cloud9 just has some things, more things than Surge that I think needs to work on.
Hmm. I think that's fair. I'm trying to think of who I have. Um, I don't know. They're kind of oddly well balanced. Surge
Hmm.
has the edge in control, obviously.
Hmm.
Cloud9's been pretty bad in Surge, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So I think I'll go Surge with you. Just make it easy. Because I have no strong feelings towards Cloud9 right now.
Yep.
They've been playing pretty mediocre, so. Oh, yeah, we're good on that. And then we got OpTic versus Falcons.
That's.
Yeah, I'll go
I think
ahead and
that's an
make
easy
an
OpTic.
executive decision on that one. I think the Falcons just. I don't think they'll win a match till like Major 3. So could be wrong. They could beat OpTic, and then we'll all look stupid. But I think if you had to bet money on any match this weekend, it's gonna be that one for OpTic. So
Hmm.
Heretic's phase gets interesting. I'm kind of curious on what you think on it because it's
Uh,
not as clear cut as it used to be. Usually, this series is a slamming, but it's not, in my opinion, this one. So, what's your take? They're both 1-3,
I think
obviously. So,
they both have their inconsistencies
yeah, they both suck at S
throughout
and
the
D.
game modes.
Just so you know.
I
But
know Heretics has been looking relatively alright in decent bit of their hard points.
Mm-hmm.
And I think both teams' control is about the same.
What?
So
FaZe is actually middle of the pack. Miami's the best control team right now. Shockingly enough, I went ahead and
I thought that was going to be Ravens.
no, no. Miami is they lead the league, like all the leaderboards statistically in
Wow.
control, which is just terribly odd. So honestly, they have an edge in a game mode where they're kind of balanced in the other two. They both suck at S&D, and they both are kind of mid at hardpoint. But Miami's good at control. So with that,
I
I
think,
give them the edge in this. I know
yeah.
you'll probably disagree with me, but I think FaZe just this isn't their stage. I think they end up losing this. Even if they kind of step it up going into Major 1, I wouldn't be,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be shocked. And I think Miami is a little better than most people think right now.
I think if Miami and FaZe have worked on what they needed to work on, I can definitely see FaZe winning it. But just because of talent, but in terms of just how Heretics have been looking in their series, I do have to agree with you
All right.
that the Heretics would likely go through it.
That's going to be a spicy bracket mix up if we're wrong, because honestly, selfishly, I want to see him win just so we get to see Scrap versus Draza in a single limb tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Just because those two are always pretty interesting. But I think we'll go with Miami. Just it's kind of what the math is saying right now. Like I said, that could obviously change. And then we got the Rocker
Ooh.
Gorillas matchup rematch, whatever you want to call it. It's not the best matchup I've ever seen. Rocker hasn't won. They're on a 2-game losing streak. LAG hasn't won at all, so Rocker just hasn't won lately. If you had to ask
Yeah.
me, I think Rocker definitely has a slaying advantage, and
Mm-hmm.
I think LAG are kind of lost in the sauce for the time being. But feel free to change my mind on that.
So Rikers won what, 3 round 11s, something like that.
Um, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
LAG has been really struggling in S&D. Their hard points, they tend to make close, but they can't really close them out.
I think Rocker's 2-2, so they've won 2, and I think lost
Yeah.
2, something crazy like that.
I mean, I think it really just depends on what ARs we end up seeing out of LAG.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think if this was on land, I'd feel different. But being it's still
yeah,
online, I think I still give the edge to Rocker. I think LAG will be a
yeah,
better land team, and they'll be able to win something there. Just the way the team's constructed, I just don't see them winning this unless I don't know, they got much better fast.
they they just need to work their ARs to be more consistent.
Yeah.
Because I've been seeing the SMGs doing their thing for the most part,
Mm-hmm.
especially Lens. Oh my god, Lens has been frying
Yeah,
every
Linz
time
is
I see
really
him.
good. But so has
But
like I think Nero's also been frying for Rocker, so
Hera's been frying since last year, really.
yeah.
But
So we go in Rocker, we think LAG. What's that?
I'm gonna have to go with Rocker.
Alright. I agree with
I'm
that.
gonna have to go with my gut on that one.
Alright.
I also think they'll outpace LAG. So,
So we got Carolina Surge, round 2.
ooh, I have the Ravens.
Yeah, me too. The Ravens have just been kind of crazy good for no apparent reason, and I
Yeah,
don't see that changing for no reason now. So
Yeah.
just personally, I think Surge has a lot more issues than Ravens, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think Ravens probably win like 3-0, 3-1, something like that. Breach OpTic.
Yep.
Once again, Breach did beat OpTic the first match. That was with Pred though.
They did.
I think where Breach took advantage of OpTic was S&D. Since Hook, I'm pretty sure won every Surge. A little
Mm-hmm.
shakier on hardpoint, but now that they'll have more than a week of practice, I wouldn't bank on that if I'm Breach, you know?
For sure. Uh, yeah. I had to get the slight edge to OpTic on that one.
Yeah, I think it'll be probably pretty mixy, honestly, in some of the hard points, but I would be really shocked if they lost.
Especially since Snoopy's been performing.
Yeah, Snoopy has finally played good. It took him a couple years. Um,
Oh man.
all right, so we got Thieves, Heretics. I think this is pretty easy.
Beeps.
If Thieves lose that one, I mean, I'd be mind blown.
Yep.
Yeah, they've just looked really good this year. They've had a little inconsistency in search, but Miami's not going to be able to overcome that just from a raw talent perspective. Like I said,
Yeah.
the only reason I give them the edge over FaZe is because they have the talent, but have been playing terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Thieves has the talent, have been playing really good. It's really not much convo. Do you see an upset here, Rock or Ultra? Ultra have looked good, but that being said,
Uh,
doesn't always mean
uh,
much.
I can see. I mean, I'll give it like a 20% chance of it happening, but
20%. So we're going Ultra.
yeah,
Yeah,
I had to go Ultra.
I think that's fair.
I just, I just like what I see on the map from them,
Yeah, they
especially
look
Joe
really solid.
performs.
I think Kleenex has been able to harness some Joe Deceives talent because he obviously played good last year at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And Bean's obviously really solid. So, all right,
Yeah.
down to our final four. Ravens OpTic. Do you see Ravens making it to a grand final in an event here?
I think Ravens have like it's probably about a 60% shot right now.
So you actually favor them over OpTic?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just think OpTic have certain things about their S&D and their respawns that I could see Ravens exploiting.
Hmm. I'm down to go with Ravens just because I think it's early for OpTic. I don't think they'll hit their stride till they get the major one with this team. So when Ravens have been had all off season, obviously looking really good, I think they could beat them
Mm-hmm.
for sure. I do think they'd have to beat them 3-1 though, because I don't like their S&D compared to Optics. So, but we'll go with it. Then we got Thieves Ultra, a little bit of a revenge game for Scrap here. Obviously
Yeah.
was on the team, not anymore.
I got this one going pretty close.
Yeah.
Especially, so if it goes game 5, I got Ultra.
Okay.
But if it's just the respawns, and I do think Ultra can take a respawn out of the 3. So,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of inconsistencies for LAT2.
Yeah, I just
That's a
think
tough
I
one.
think Thieves edges them out in just like talent fundamentals a
They
little bit.
do.
That if it got the search, that's their window, but I just don't see them winning a respawn, honestly.
Uh,
Thieves Thieves are just
So that's
too I think they're too good to let it go to game 5, if that makes
well,
sense.
that's
Even
the
if
thing.
even if they lose a control or something, I do think that um
I,
I,
that's where I kind of slightly defer because I think Ultra has, but Here's the thing. I think Ultra has better fundamentals
Mm.
to a certain extent from LAT, but LAT has definitely has more talent. So that's like where I'm like, they could take a hard point.
Yeah, they
It'd be
might.
close, but it'd be.
I think they'd have
I
to
could see
take a
them taking
hard
one.
point, like a map 1 or 3, because
Yeah.
I don't think they win a map 4. I think Thieves knows when to turn on the the slamming machine a little bit. Like if they were able to end that, I think they end it, kind of thing, on a map
Yeah.
4. So I don't know. I'd have a hard time. I mean, we could go with the quote unquote upset for Ultra if you want,
We can go
but
LAT for it,
you
but
want to go LAT? Okay.
yeah. But I do see a good chance for Ultra.
All right. So Carolina LAT, obviously, who we got left? Who's winning it? Mm-mm-mm.
Uh, I think Carolina has better fundamentals, but I think LAT has the more talent.
Is it a best of 5? Do we know? I think it might be.
It might be.
Uh,
Even if it is, it's like, even if it's a game best of 7, it's like,
See, the reason I ask is like I think LAT would guarantee win in a best of 7, but in a best of 5, LAT's hard point is really their strong suit right now.
mm-hmm.
They struggle a little bit in search. I mean, they got Fat Bob on Carolina, who's been absolutely insane at search for some reason. So honestly, I think that if they can take, like, they've looked really good in hardpoint too. I
Mm-hmm.
think they're a little bit like Ultra here too, but I think
Yeah.
Ravens are a better version of Ultra in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a single limb kind of tournament. I don't know. I really don't know on this. I think these are pretty evenly matched as far as like
Mm-hmm.
what one's good at the other. Slaying wise is the only way they absolutely slam Carolina. Because if TJ plays
Yeah.
bad, Slasher's been playing really good. If he has a bad series, um, Vivid's kind of a X factor for them.
Yeah.
Whereas Thieves, you kind of have a like it's hard to see more than one of those guys having a bad series. So
Right. Especially with how Envoy's been performing.
So do we go with the obvious or do we go with the upset? I'll leave it in your hands here. Because I'm good with either.
I'll go with the upset.
All right. We'll go with the
I know
fun.
the upset. Yeah.
I think it would be really fun if Carolina wins this minor going into major one.
Oh,
Could you imagine?
I would love to see it.
Could you imagine another team that's like wasn't supposed to be good doing that? Like, so even if they don't win a major, like going into major one, it'd be like really interesting.
It'd be a nice storyline.
Because FaZe has vacated their top seed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So who else was supposed to be good? Cloud9, not really that good this year. As of
Yep.
now. Preface that. Alright, so we got Ravens winning, Thieves getting second, and that's the bracket. I mean, I don't see anything I would change. I think that's fair enough for now.
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch it. So that's in a couple weeks. The 10th, I believe it starts. And if we get this whole bracket right, that'd be pretty epic for us. There's always some
It
stupid
really
upset
would.
though, but I think we played into that a little bit. We didn't just pick the favorites. So
Yeah.
if you had to pick one matchup other than I guess FaZe Heretics that you're most unsure about, you think it's probably OpTic Ravens or like Rocker LAG? Or you got
Be
another one that you think you're like really about?
LAT Ultra.
Mm. Yeah.
That's another one I'm really iffy on.
Yeah, I think that's fair. All
But
right, people. Well, if you want to comment below what you think, who you think's winning, go ahead. Um, Just don't bully us because this is our bracket, and we may be right, you may be wrong, and so hey, I mean it's not
It'd be
that crazy.
crazy if we are.
I've made crazier pick'ems brackets. I'll just say that. Hey, sorry to interrupt the show, but we'd like to take a minute to thank our sponsor, the New Century Entertainment Network, a new wave of entertainment that follows the newest innovations out there, including esports. View their channel to see groundbreaking documentaries, clips from our show, with much more on the way. Go ahead and like and subscribe to them and stay up to date with the latest stuff coming out there. Thank you for watching, and we'll get you right back to the show. All right, so we're going to do a segment of New Year's resolutions for Call of Duty teams right now. Obviously, the New Year's coming up. Happy holidays to everyone, and get right into it.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, we've got Atlanta FaZe 1 and 3. Nobody would have predicted that coming into the year, but the biggest thing for FaZe has been their search and destroy struggles, largely due to Draza sucking. Is what it is. I think if he picks it up, the team kind of starts working together. Right now, they're solo challenging and that kind of stuff that you notice that just isn't usual for them. I mean, me and CeeJ have been watching for how many years? I mean, a Simpa BZ duo has been crazy good teamwork since Cold War. Like it's just been really odd this year. So that's their New Year's resolution: fix their search and destroy. Draza, maybe do some introspection and improve yourself a little bit for your team because you might end up getting dropped if you guys bomb out a major one. But there is that for FaZe. CeeJ, any thoughts on that before you talk about your team?
Also, with Sal and the respawns.
Sell and respawn. Yeah, he's been terrible
Yeah.
this year. From what he was last year to now, it's kind of insane. But on to
For sure.
Cloud9, they have some issues, so let's go ahead and talk about them.
So Cloud9, their main issues is also search and destroy. Sib has been really struggling. I think Attach has been playing relatively alright, but not up to par. Kremp's the only one that has been positive in the last 2 series, and that was against the Ravens. And Mac, I think Mac's been a bit of a surprise for Cloud9 so far this year.
Yeah, and also 0-4 in control. I think they're probably the worst vault control team. So Hacienda coming in should help them a little bit. So I'll be interested to see if that helps. But yeah, work on your search, and a couple guys need to pick it up. Sib has been a real shocker of kind of bad performance this year, so that'll be interesting to see because he was really good at the end of last year's game.
Yeah, I think there's just something nipping in the back of the head.
Yeah. All right, Cloud9, you know what to do. Work on your resolution. LAG, your resolution is stop being terrible. You're at 0-4, your hard point sucks, and your S&D sucks, but you are good at control. That's a good swing mode. You just need to clean up one of the other ones. Priesta's been fairly bad. He's had a good map or two, but I mean, I think he's been more Boston Priesta than NYSL Priesta. Yeah, I mean, if you want any success with this court, like this 4 here, you're gonna need him to step it up. So there you go. Those are resolutions. FaZe, fix your S&D. C9, fix your control and search. And LAG needs to fix their hard point and search. And there you go. I mean, everyone's got New Year's resolutions. I think it's fair, especially if any of these teams want to have any success in Minor 1. I think that's fair.
For sure.
All right.
Thanks everyone for listening to the Duocast episode 4. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and follow us for more.